Today is November 4th, 2025, and college basketball is officially back. Welcome to our first in-season episode of Talkin Husky Hoops.
It is a UConn coronation. The Huskies make history. Back-to-back national champions.
Welcome back to the second episode of Talkin Husky Hoops. I'm Mike Gizzi.
And I'm Jeong.
And on this show, we talk all things UConn men's basketball, from game previews to post-game reactions and anything involving Hurley and the men's team. First game just happened. How are we feeling, Will?
College basketball is officially back, and I could not be happier. I've been waiting a long time for this. I feel great. Nothing to complain about. We had a loaded slate yesterday, including our UConn home opener against New Haven.
Gamble.
At Gamble.
Back in Gamble.
Yes.
First time since last March. We had two preseason games, both not at Gamble. But, it was great. We were both there yesterday. We both sat together. And, it felt great to be in that environment.
Absolutely.
And, obviously, People's Bank's nice.
Yeah.
Mohegan Sun's nice. But there's nothing about that student section when you walk into Gamble. The absolute noise, the intensity, and it's completely different than anywhere else
Nothing
that
beats
you've
it.
ever
It's the
been.
best place on earth.
Yeah. So, let's talk about it.
Yeah, for
Final
sure.
score, 79-55.
Yes.
19 from Carabin, 18 from Ball.
Yeah.
I mean, great game.
Yes.
Great game. I feel
Totally.
we did, to really kick off our season, that you got to be happy with it.
For sure.
Because, you got what you wanted from the veterans. Everyone really got time in this game.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody who wasn't able to step in at any point. Terrace Reed was out. He was a game time decision. We will talk about that later. We do have news on that.
Yes.
But yeah, what's your thoughts?
Overall, pretty good start to the season. Nothing too much to complain about. Still super early on. This is our first glimpse of what the team really has to offer. But out of the gate, I like what I see. I think we got really solid foundations here of what could be a successful season. So let's talk to that starting lineup. So like you mentioned, we had 19 from Carabin, 18 from Ball. To carry on to that starting lineup, Stewart got the nod again, like he did with Michigan State. So good to see him improve in this game.
Yeah.
Big numbers out of him.
11 points, 8 rebounds. I mean, for somebody who wasn't guaranteed the spot in the starting lineup this year, and we thought, obviously, if he's healthy, we thought Mullins would have had that starting role. But you can't ask for more out of your returner.
No, not at all. And I think it's really good to see the growth that he's had as a player. He's been with us for a while, through thick and thin.
Yeah.
And to see him come back after Michigan State, where he had a little rough of a start, but to see him coming back to form is really good to see to start off the season.
And I know we touched on it in episode 1 when we previewed this game and when we also previewed the season, but New Haven played their first D1 game.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have to say it. They played great basketball yesterday. It was honestly, even though we won by 24, if I went to New Haven or if I was a New Haven fan, I'd have to be happy with that performance.
Yeah.
I felt they were great. Let me say this: great in the post.
Absolutely.
Their post game was amazing, and just in general, I honestly was impressed. I mean, they make some. I was sitting there in the crowd, and they put up a shot, and I'd be like, no way that's going in.
Yeah.
And then it would fall, and I'm like, wow, this team, even though they're not, they're down a lot right now, they're playing great basketball.
For sure. And especially on some of those finishes were really tough. You could kind of feel the absence of Terrace Reed a little bit, but I think ultimately that just came down to really impressive performances from some of the New Haven guys. It was really, really cool to see their first Division I basketball game, and it's not difficult coming to Gamble Pavilion. And
Not easy.
Sorry, not easy. Thanks. For your first Division I game, and they showed out. It was actually it was cool to see.
Now to talk a bit more about UConn, we touched on the positives. I do want to touch on a little bit on what we think needs work.
Yeah.
One of the key things I think we both saw, we talked last episode in the Michigan State, there was a lack of fluidity. I saw that fluidity last night.
For sure.
I think my problem this time was shots aren't falling.
Yeah.
And efficient. It just wasn't. It didn't seem efficient. For instance, Solo Ball was 3 for 10 from 3, which again, I think we said it in the last episode many times. It was preseason basketball. Mistakes are going to be made. We are game 1 of the season. We have 30-something odd games to go.
Exactly. Yes.
There's a lot of improvements that need to be made, but that's one of the key ones that I saw when it came to we just need to be more efficient. And we need to get on our horse right out of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, first game of the season, still plenty of room to grow, of course, and improve. But it is definitely worth noting.
Yeah.
Obviously, UConn is known for being the offensive powerhouse in the country. And there were definitely elements of that. But yeah, a little bit on shooting percentage, efficiency, a little bit could see some improvement. But again, first game of the season, so it's definitely not anything to worry about, just worth noting.
I mean, still not bad. 48%, I think it was from the field.
No, yeah.
48 from the field. What was it from three? So you got the stats up
yes, so they were
34.
8 for 23 from the field.
34.8, 35% if you want to round up.
Yeah.
So not bad. I'd like to see it a little higher, especially when you have some great shooters on this team.
Yes.
Who can definitely knock down shots. But, for game 1, you have to be cautious when we speak about these things because with more repetition, they're going to get better. They're going to improve those numbers, and those percentages are going to go up.
For sure.
Or we can only hope they will go up.
Yeah, so. And 35% from 3 is above average.
Yeah.
And we are spoiled as UConn fans to even say that might be below our average.
Mm-hmm.
But we know there's, of course, always room for improvement, and I'm sure we're going to see that as the season goes along.
Yes. But, besides that, that's really all there was for this game. I mean, we didn't really expect there to be much to talk about with this game. We knew we were going to come out, we were going to just show out, and honestly, it's what we did. We played basketball. We didn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything flashy. I mean, if you want to talk about flashy, we can talk about Solo getting the and-one dunk, or Jalen Stewart rushing down the lane, punching one down early in the game, really got the crowd.
I think Jaden Ross had a nice slam as well.
Okay, yeah. I think yes, you are right. So yeah, no. On that note, I think we should move on. We released our first episode, about 20 minutes before this news dropped.
20 minutes.
So if you were wondering where this was, Alex Caravan. I mean, we talked about all the awards last episode. Yeah. Everybody in the starting 5, except for him, was on a preseason watch list. 20 minutes after the episode dropped, he was added to the Karl Malone, I think it's the award for power forwards watch list. And yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that. I wanted to give him his flowers and make sure we definitely talked about it.
And I think he absolutely deserves a nod.
Of course.
In case last year wasn't the year he's most capable of, even if it's a bounce back year for him, he's the leader of this team. And he is due for big things. So.
Definitely one of the most notable names in college basketball this year.
So I appreciate the nod.
To be on this list, it shouldn't be a surprise.
No,
really.
Of course not.
I said this in the last episode. I don't believe we were 4.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about number 3. The number 3 Florida Gators fall to the Arizona. What are they?
Wildcats.
The Wildcats.
Yeah. Ranked 13 preseason.
Yes.
So it's not the craziest upset in the world. This was played at Las Vegas, so neutral site for the most part. Arizona's closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting to see.
It makes me think about the Arizona game that we talked about, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
but I was right on the aspect of saying I don't think Florida are the same team they were last year.
No, definitely
and we
not.
Definitely saw that. Their efficiency last night was nowhere where it was. It's hard to take the places of some of those guys you had on that team.
Absolutely.
I mean, Walter Clayton and who else did they have?
Well, they had a lot of their front court they're bringing back.
Chinyelu, Condon.
Houck.
Yeah.
Yes. All those guys are still coming back, but they do have new guards this year that is going to take time to adjust. So, not that there's any Florida fans watching this, but
I doubt it.
Still early in the season, so no need to worry. But Arizona does look really good, and we play them in a little over 2 weeks.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
So
honestly, this episode will probably drop actually late tonight on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it'll honestly, when you're watching this, it'll probably be less than 2 weeks away. So, you know what? We just gotta hope that what I talked about them coming to Gamble,
Yeah.
the environment, the ferocity that we're gonna bring, and we gotta hope that we come out guns blazing in that game.
For sure.
And we have to jump on the horse
Yeah, absolutely.
immediately, and we cannot give them their chance because they,
No,
as we saw yesterday, they are definitely a great team
Yes.
and they're going to definitely give us a good battle there. So, but besides that, BYU, Villanova.
Yeah,
We should
absolutely.
touch on that briefly. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
so-
two teams that we will be end up playing.
Yes.
One in less than 2 weeks, and the other eventually down the line when we get to the Big East schedule. So.
Yeah, so final score was 71-66. That was the follow-up game to Florida versus Arizona. That was actually a pretty solid game. Back and forth, Villanova caught up late. I personally see this more as a win for the Big East and Villanova. I think they were looking pretty solid, at least exceeding expectations that were set for them in the preseason.
Yeah.
I know first game, so still a lot is subject to change. But Villanova looked really good. And in terms of BYU, which we play them in even sooner than Arizona, maybe a little bit of a scare. I don't know.
For them, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about efficiency for UConn. They were even less than us.
Yeah.
They were under 40% from the field.
Ouch.
I don't want to sit here and just talk a bunch of bad on BYU because it's bad karma and it'll end up biting us in a little over a week and a half now.
Yeah.
But Devanza was 2 for 7 from the free throw line, 50% from the floor.
Okay.
But I'm only saying this because we know how much of a prospect he is,
Yeah.
and we know how much better he can be than that.
Absolutely.
So I'm just gonna say, when it came to what they were supposed to do last night, I don't think they did it.
No, yeah, but Devanza's still a top 3 freshman in the country.
Yes,
we
definitely.
know what he's capable of, and this is his first official college game, so nothing to worry about again. But just shows everyone's human at the end of the day, and it's going to be another close contest, I think. Once BYU comes to Boston, but just worth noting. Really like what we see out of Villanova, especially though.
You know what? I'm always excited to see a team in the Big East play well.
Yeah.
Because it just makes that those games in January, February, and early March way more competitive and way more interesting to watch.
For sure.
Being able to sit down and turn on a UConn game or go to Gamble or People's Bank and actually have be like, oh, this is gonna be a tough one. This could be a tight one. So we saw it with Villanova and we saw it with Georgetown. Georgetown beat Kentucky in the preseason game. Granted, Kentucky didn't throw out all their starters and give all their minutes the right way, but still, you're beating a team that is top 10 in the nation and you're unranked. So you have to big wins for the Big East in the last week or so. So I am definitely excited, but that's way long down the road.
Yes.
Let's bring it all the way back. We got 2 games in the next week. We're going to touch on both of them this episode because we will not have an episode before the Columbia game. But we'll start with the UMass Lowell Riverhawks.
Absolutely. So they did have one game yesterday. It was against Riviera, a D3 team. But worth noting, they put up 107 points on that first game, and that is nothing to bat an eye to.
Austin Green,
yes,
one of their top scorers for that game, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Great stat line.
Yeah,
3 other players over double digits. I mean, you have to take some positives.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least for them, and give them some positive news. But the negative news for them, Terrace Reed's back.
Yes. Yes, that is a good thing to know. And I know against New Haven, especially on those tough finishes, we definitely missed them at times. So it'll be good to have him back for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, UMass Lowell, not that, no shade to Riviera, the D3 team, but you can take that win with a grain of salt. I think it's safe to say they won't put up 107 against UConn.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
If they do, hopefully we put up 200.
Yeah. Something like that.
They don't have a player over 6'9", and it's looking like it's going to be a dominant game from us.
Yeah, I certainly hope
You know what
so.
I'm hoping from this game, though?
Okay.
I'm hoping that we maybe see a bit more. I know we put a lot of the guys and everyone saw minutes.
Yeah.
I maybe want to see someone who had a not a long showing, but a decent, good little amount of time in the game on Monday against New Haven was Mr. Alec Millender.
Yeah.
I would maybe like to see him get a few more minutes. Maybe take some of Malachi Smith's minutes. Not throwing any shade on Malachi Smith here. Just maybe because you're gonna get into a point of the season where you can't experiment with minutes anymore like that. So maybe give him share a few of the minutes there, and spread it out a little. I want to see a bit more from him.
Yeah.
Because what I saw, I think there's a lot of potential there, and I think there's a chance that he could be a valuable piece in this rotation.
Yes. So he did have, going back to the New Haven game, he had 6 minutes. Banged a 3 though. I think he made his first shot pretty much right out of the gate. So that was really cool to see. Mm-hmm. And he is a senior, right? So he has a lot of experience. And I don't think that's anything to sleep on. He's been playing basketball a while. He knows what he's doing, and to give him his flowers, I think a couple more minutes especially would be cool to see.
Mm-hmm. I'll be reporting this game on Friday, so I'll definitely, when we have our next episode next week before the BYU game, I'll be able to give us a bit more insight. Maybe a little look into questions during the press conference and everything. Yeah. But no, the reason I brought up Terrace Reed and why I know that already, not to brag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did talk to him outside the stadium before the game. Okay. And I did.
You took a picture with him, right?
I did take a picture with him. I'll put it up on screen. It'll be like right here. Oh. But no, I was talking. Lovely guy, by the way, and talking. Probably one of the first people to find out he wasn't playing. I asked him, and he said he looks like he's going to be playing on Friday, which is what I expected. He went through the full warm-ups. He went through warm-ups at during the Michigan State game too.
Yes.
So he went through warm-ups again on Monday. Definitely, I don't take this with just a grain of salt. I definitely think he's playing on Friday. He sounds confident he's playing on Friday. And, I'm excited. You got a guy who was on a watch list for an award. You got a Big East preseason player of the year. Not player of the year, Big East first team preseason. And you just have to be excited for a return, especially when you have somebody who is as dominant as he is and could bring as much, potential to this team.
Yeah, and that's another thing to note, that that game against New Haven, we were missing 2 potential starters. And things still look pretty solid.
And a big depth piece with Jacob Furphy.
So. For sure, and Jacob Furphy, yeah.
He'll up soon as well. We probably should have talked about that happening between episodes. He also got injured, and so we don't know the exact timeline. I'm thinking maybe not day to day, maybe a week or 2, maybe 3. Okay. So, hope he's healing up.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll see some minutes once he gets back as well.
I mean, I'm getting news on Mullins too. It's like he's looking better.
Okay,
he's healing up way faster and faster.
Yeah, he was out of all.
Nothing on the ankle, and again, take it with a grain of salt. I heard he was practicing, not full practice.
Okay.
Light practice.
That's progress. It's good to see.
Very light movement. That's all I care about. Judging by a lot of the stuff that I've heard, maybe the 6 weeks was a stretch. I'm hoping it was a stretch. Let's just say that. Hoping that 6 week period's a stretch, and he'll be back even sooner, maybe for a Kansas game.
Yeah, hopefully. But UMass Lowell, Huskies do take him on Friday, this November 7th. 7:30 p.m. People's Bank Arena. That's their opener there.
Opens at People's.
Yeah, absolutely. We got fresh new renovations.
Yeah, and both.
Yes.
Gamble looked great last night. New seats.
Yeah, absolutely. So that should be a fun one. Mm-hmm. That brings us to our next game on November 10th, Monday at 6:30, I believe. Back to Gamble, where UConn takes on the Columbia Lions.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have much to say about this team based on this year yet, as they have not played a game. They will actually be playing their first game, if I'm right, this Friday.
Yes.
This Friday against New Haven.
Okay.
We talked. I think Dan Hurley said no more in-season tournaments, 3 games in-season tournaments. But
that's right.
We're looking at schedules for these teams that we're playing coming up, and all 4 teams Columbia, New Haven, UMass Lowell, and UConn. Feels like there's those four teams. They're all playing each other
Yeah.
in what seems to be a 3-game set. So even though we're not traveling anywhere,
Interesting.
interesting to say the least. That maybe someone tried to pull a slick one there on Dan.
Yeah.
No, but we can't really say much about this team yet.
Yeah.
We can really only judge them based on what they were last year, and
Yes.
I think you wanted to talk about this, so I'll let you. I'll let
Yeah.
you talk about this one.
So, to be honest, I don't want to throw too much shade at Columbia. They finished 12-15 last year. They beat Villanova, actually, their second game of the year.
I remember seeing the highlights from that.
Yeah, that was interesting. But they went 1-13 in Ivy League play.
Beat Brown.
Beat Brown.
They definitely were. They definitely were
That
rushing the
was
streets
about it.
after that one.
Yeah. But interesting to note, they are keeping some of their team leaders. I think, especially of note, guard Kenny Nolan led last year in points and assists. And then also Blair Thompson, both seniors. Thompson led in rebounds and steals, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So Columbia keeping a lot of pieces, so that's going to show growth in their team, which they a lot of growth to be had. But yeah, they haven't played a game yet, so it's kind of hard to gauge how they're feeling. But they do play New Haven, who, since we've already played, hopefully should be a good indicator of how the lines are
and
looking.
we know what level New Haven's able to play at, so we'll definitely be able to see and get a insight on what Monday's game should look like.
Yeah, for sure.
Based on that matchup there on Friday.
Yes.
But you know what? I think, as we predicted in our preseason, or not preseason, our preseason predictions.
Yes.
3-0 is looking pretty easy.
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Gets a bit tougher after that, but we'll talk about that next time. But you know what? That's really all we got for this episode.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching this episode of Talkin Husky Hoops. We'll be back next week to preview our first major matchup of the year, as I hinted at, against the BYU Cougars at TD Garden. But for now, I'm Mike Gizzi.
And I'm Jeong, UCTV Sports.
Go Huskies.